I've got opportunity to say something on meditation, and which is called the science of living of modern times. So this is a very brief session on meditation, because you know that to talk on meditation, it needs much more time than 15 minutes. But we'll give a brief introduction on meditation. So আমরা আমাদের আজকের আলোচনা শুরু করতে চাই একটা গল্প দিয়ে. And it's a very familiar story in our country. This is a story of a boatman and a knowledgeable person. In Bangla, we call them Pundit. A Pundit, a knowledgeable person, once he decided to visit his village. And on the way to his home, there was a big river, and he had to cross the river to reach his destination. So at that time, the only one way to cross the river was boat. And there was a boatman who was waiting with his boat, and the knowledgeable person, the Pundit, he got himself off at that boat. So the boat started to move. The person, the knowledgeable person, was so knowledgeable that it was very difficult for him to stay silent for a few minutes, because the knowledge he gathered is always wanted to come out. But there was no second person in the boat, so the only way he had, that he had to talk with the boatman. So he asked the boatman, "Oh, Mr. Boatman, do you know anything on physics?" The boatman felt very shy, and he told that, "Sir, you know that I'm such an illiterate person, so this is not possible for me to know something on physics." The knowledgeable person, the Pundit, laughed at him. "So then your 10% of life is actually useless." After a certain time, he again asks, "Oh, boatman, do you know something on mathematics?" The boatman again shied and replied, "No, sir, actually I know nothing on mathematics." The Pundit again smiled and laughed at him. "So then 20% of your life is actually meaningless." And after a certain time, he again asked, "Oh, boatman, do you know something on geography?" The answer was common, saying. Then he again laughed. "Then 30% of your life is actually meaningless." And after a certain time, he declared that 90% of life of that boatman actually has no value, because he knows nothing on such a vast subjects of the world. But after a certain period, the time was summer. And you know that in our country at summer, sometime storm comes. তো হঠাৎ কালবৈশাখী ঝড় শুরু হলো, নৌকা তো টালমাটাল। So the boatman felt that this Pundit, this knowledgeable person, knew nothing how to swim. So then he asks, "Oh, Mr. Pundit, you know so many things on the world. Do you know actually how to swim?" Then the Pundit felt panicked and said, "No, boatman, actually I know nothing how to swim." Then now he smiled. So then 100% of your life is now meaningless. কারণ ঝড়ের যে অবস্থা, নৌকা তো ডুবে যাবে, আমি তো সাঁতার কেটে তীরে উঠে যাব, তুমি তোমার গণিত, ব্যাকরণ, ভূগোল নিয়ে পানির নিচে ডুবে যাবে, তোমার জীবনের 16 আনাই মিছে। তো আসলে সমস্ত জ্ঞান আমরা জানলাম, we know so many things of the world, but if we don't know how to be peaceful, how to be happy, how to give the life real glory, then actually all the knowledge seems very negligible. So I want to congratulate Rotary International that they added meditation in their session, and actually this is a great decision to add meditation on your session. So I want to congratulate on that. So what is meditation? আসলে 50-এর দশকে আমেরিকাতে প্রথম টেনশন শুরু হয়। So tension was spread all over the Western countries at the age of 50. And then Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, he brought meditation from this Eastern culture to the Western culture. And he was very lucky that at that time, Beatles, the #1 band in the Western civilization, they became disciples of Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. And it caused boom all over the Western countries. The generals of Pentagon, from generals of Pentagon to the actors and actresses of Hollywood, they started meditation. And Maharishi Mahesh Yogi told that the tranquilizer you take to relax yourself is actually useless. Do meditation, spend some time on meditation, you will feel relaxed and you will be tension-free. So then the doctors, they were very confused. Actually, do meditation really works? Or this is just a fake psychological drama or psychological practice? So they started research. And Dr. Herbert Benson, a doctor of Harvard Medical School, he actually led the research, and he found that actually meditation is the real way to get real peace in mind. And all the tranquilizers, they have very side effects, but the meditation have only one side effect, that if you practice meditation regularly, you may be more joyful. This is the only side effect of meditation. So meditation now became very much popular in Western countries. And we are thankful to Almighty that although meditation is our culture, আমাদের অলি বুজুর্গরা, আমাদের মুনি ঋষিরা, আমাদের নবী রসুলরা একে বলতেন ধ্যান বা মোরাকাবা, এখন এই ধ্যান বা মোরাকাবাকে নতুন নাম মেডিটেশন হিসেবে এখন আমাদের দেশে এর চর্চা শুরু হয়েছে। And quantum method is actually the newest form of meditation, which is very easy, very scientific, and if you just practice 30 minutes a day regularly, I can assure you that after certain times, just 40 days you practice, after certain times you will feel more relaxed, more joyful, more happy. The problem may come, but you will feel confident. You will feel, oh no, I can solve the problem. The feelings, the attitude will develop gradually if you do meditation regularly. So actually to do meditation, we need minimum 30 minutes of time. So I wanted to give a brief demo on meditation, but the time is too limited. But if you want, we want to introduce a 5 minutes brief meditation if you want. Actually, we cannot call it meditation, we can call it 5 minutes relaxation, because meditation is a very big thing, and actually 30 minutes of time you have to spend on meditation, otherwise the real level of meditation, it is very difficult to reach. But for 5 minutes, we will try to relax. And if you remember the steps we are going to do now, you can do it anytime, whenever you feel stressed, whenever you feel tense, you can follow the steps, and I believe that you will feel a little bit relaxed than before. So একটা ছোট্ট মেডিটেশন আমরা একটু করে ফেলি যদি আপনারা অনুমতি দেন। আমাদের হাতে 3-4 মিনিট সময় আছে, এর মধ্যেই আমরা একটু মেডিটেশনটা করে ফেলবো। তো সবাই একটু আরাম করে বসুন। আপনার দুই পায়ের পাতা মেঝেতে লেগে থাকবে, দুই হাত আপনার দুই হাঁটুর উপরে থাকবে, মেরুদণ্ড সোজা থাকবে। So now, very lightly close your eyes. হালকা ভাবে চোখ বন্ধ করুন। Now take a deep breath. In this time, your belly will expand. লম্বা দম নিন, and you will লম্বা দম নিন, নাক দিয়ে দম নিন, ধীরে ধীরে মুখ দিয়ে দম ছাড়ুন। You'll take breath through your nose and the breath will come out through your mouth. Take a long deep breath, and the breath will come out through your mouth. Take a long deep breath through your nose, and the breath will come out through your mouth. Now make the breath normal and feel easy. Now take a deep breath through your nose, and the breath will come out through your nose now. Take a deep breath through your nose, and the breath will come out through your nose now. Take a deep breath through your nose, and the breath will come out through your nose now. Now feel easy. Now concentrate on your breath. Just feel how it is entering in your body and coming out from your body. Feel relaxed. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Now you're at Alpha Station. I'll count from 19 to 0, and you will reach your mind temple. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. You're entering deeper and deeper of your mind. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. You're entering a very deeper level of your mind. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Now you are at your mind temple. A very beautiful surroundings you were watching around your mind temple. Feel the fragrance of flowers. Listen the roar of seas. See the green leaves. Now sit at your garden, a beautiful garden. Now say with me. You will say it silently in your mind with me. Live long, happy strong, stay young. Live long, happy strong, stay young. Live long, happy strong, stay young. Day by day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. Day by day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. You spent a very relaxed time. Now it is time to wake up. Take a deep, long breath, and it will expand your chest. 0, 1. Take another long, deep breath. 2, 3. Take another long, deep breath. 4, 5. I'll count 7. You will totally wake up and feel more relaxed and more vibrant. Take a long breath. 6, 7. Now, please lightly open your eyes. Move your arms and legs. And say with me, এবং সবাই আমরা একটু একসাথে বলবো, বেশ ভালো লাগছে। একটু একসাথে আমরা বলি, বেশ ভালো লাগছে। Yes, thank you very much for giving me such a nice time. Thank you again.
অন্য ভবন থেকে ঘুরে আসলাম ক্ষণিকেই। মনকে যদি স্থির করি, মনের জায়গায় নিয়ে যাই, গহীনে যাই, সেকেন্ডে বিশ্ব ভ্রমণ সম্ভব। Mind is the most important factor in man, and man remains to be the most important in the world. Man is the main, and mind is the main in man. We have been listening about mind from Engineer Prantik Lal, so wonderful speaker. Give a very big hand to this meditator. Ladies and gentlemen, may I very humbly now call another one. He is from Sri Lanka. He's a management giant. He goes to different countries. He's a director of Sensai, an organization for management consultancy. He is Ranjan D. Silva. We'll be listening to him 12 to 15 minutes on using mind for human management. Ranjan D. Silva. Yes.
Thank you.
So we will be having our next session on 9:30. So help me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I bring greetings from Rotary Club 3220, Rotary District 3220, Colombo, Sri Lanka, and from the Governor, Venerable Somavansatero, as well as the PDG, Ms. Gauri Rajan. I'm extremely honored to be here in front of you. Today, my presentation is with regard to a topic which is very close to my heart. And have you ever asked the question, if you can have the first slide up, please, why are you on this earth? What on earth am I doing here? May I have a response from you? Why are we here? Materialistic things that we go for is going to make your life much more happier and successful. And in this pursuit, I have chosen my life to be purposeful. Now, I know this is a short session. Like once Blaise Pascal said, I wrote a long letter because I did not have time to write a short one. I would need like 2-3 hours to do this, but since it's very short, may I invite you to do something with me? I'm going to have some slides up here, and if you may take photographs of it, so that you could go and look at it later. Plus, immediately after this session, the entire speech and the presentation will be uploaded in my website. So I'm going to put the web address at the end. So you need to just photograph that, go look at it, because I believe this might be useful for you when you go back to your clubs to find, the way of helping youth, people who really want to live a purposeful life. So in this pursuit, I would like to first share a video with you. And this video is about a gentleman who started working as a sampling boy in an organization, which we all know, and you will see it in the video, and see how he rose up. This is a quick 3-minute video, and after the video, I would like to take you through a process on how to discover that purpose of yourself and how to live the purpose. So I can only give the theoretical framework because in a session I would normally get you to start thinking about it. But let's first watch this video and then I'll take you through the process. Can we have the video, please? The next slide.
Do things for people, not because of who they are or what they do in return, but because of who you are. Living by a life of his childhood mentor's code could have been the toughest thing to do for a poor boy who lost his father at the age of 9. He went to a boarding school which was meant for the marginalized and orphans. Lost and unsure, he struggled for a few years. He started working hard to get good grades, scholarships, and grants. At the age of 25, he was desperately looking for a job to support his family. And suddenly, a logo on a newspaper advertisement stood out. It was a mother bird feeding her babies on a nest. Out of 6,000 applicants going through a grueling selection process, he got selected. He started out only as a sampling boy, serving coffee to people and bringing a smile to their faces. Years passed, and the sampling boy rose up to become a salesman, supervisor, line manager, and finally took on senior management roles at national levels. He led teams in challenging situations, groomed people, developed future leaders, and additionally sharpened himself with the attributes of Nestle Leadership Framework. With every crossing milestone, he was making his mother proud and happy. Finally, an opportunity arrived, an opportunity to be the country manager for Nestle Infant Nutrition in Bangladesh, a country where his mother was born, a country with one of the highest infant mortality and maternal mortality rates, low birth weights, and an astonishing level of diarrhea and diseases. Since his move in June 2014, not only did he achieve extraordinary business results, but also made his mother proud and happy. He put together a business strategy with consumer-driven pricing, huge investments for capability building of HCPs and caregivers, focused on helping mothers breastfeed by installing over 1,000 plus breastfeeding rooms across the country. Today, the sampling boy turned business manager has reasons to feel happy. Not for the achievement of external measures of being successful in business, but for winning deep inside his soul by living his purpose. I feel my purpose has come a full circle as I'm trying to bring health and happiness to millions of infants and mothers, just like I tried doing it to my mom. But it's not over, as I intend to go on living my purpose for many more years until my body is put to rest.
So when I met Luke Gomez last November, when I had the opportunity of doing a motivational session to the team at Nestle, I was highly inspired, and he has been very gracious enough to allow me to share his video and his story as I take my message with me. As I reflect on the purpose, it was so interesting to me, I decided to continue to study on it. So right now I'm pursuing my PhD at the Ashridge Business School, which is connected to HALT in the US. And my thesis is on purposeful living. how do we overcome our struggles and challenges by finding purpose? And as I've gone through this journey, I've realized that purpose is not about getting. It's more about giving. I think we start going wrong when we set a big objective and say, okay, I want to be a CEO, I want to own a business, I want to do this or that, and that's where we start going wrong. But I suppose that when you commit your life like Luke is doing to help mothers and infants, and like all of you are working on various projects to serve this country through Rotary, that's where the real energy and happiness comes. And also purpose, I thought, is not about an outcome or a goal. It's not becoming, it's about being. After all, we are not human becomings, we are just human beings. And I believe that as we commit our life to service, doing something for the world, the divine forces and the universal energy system, or God, or Allah, whichever way you want to make sense of the higher power, would give us the required resources to continue to serve, which will give us that real happiness, the real deep, peaceful happiness. Not the type of happiness we try to get through material things, which ends up in stress and tension and conflicts and so many other aspects. Having said that, let me introduce to you very briefly a method of finding purpose. So may I have the next slide, please? Yeah, that's there. So, yeah. So the next slide will show the 4 questions you would ask. What makes me most alive? Ask yourself, what makes me most alive when I do what? The second question is, what are my struggles and why is it? What are the struggles I have in life? Why do I have these struggles? What can I be of service of? How can I be of service to other people? And finally, what will help me make a living? And as you start pondering on this, you will start realizing what your purpose is. And then this can get converted into a purpose statement, which is in the next slide, please, quickly. Ask yourself, why of my life? Why am I living? So write a little statement. Why am I living in this world? The second is my values. What are the values I have which will help me to live this life? And thirdly, what will I say yes to? Next slide, please. And next slide has my purpose. You don't have to read the whole thing, but in a small one sentence of my purpose is to contribute to a better world through purposeful people. So I have made my purpose to create more and more purposeful people so that this world starts becoming a better place. Next slide. And as you look at the purpose, you need to look at various areas. We need to have an awareness of purpose, and I believe when you're aware of purpose, it's that glimpse which will help you to start thinking, like a seed that I plant. And I hope when the idea of the purpose is in your mind, that will help you to start growing. So I know since time is limited, I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I just want the last slide up, please, just to introduce you. So you can download this presentation as well as the audio and video of this session. Within about 10 minutes, it will be uploaded on my website, ranjandesilva.net. I also invite you to go to my blog, ranjandesilva.blog, and read what I have written there. Please do connect on Facebook or Twitter, as well as my partner Kamrul Hassan, who is the Managing Director of Sensei Wisdom in Bangladesh, can be contacted if you need any more. I would like to finish off this with a little poem for you. And this poem reminds us of how blessed we are. The name of the poem is Forgive Me When I Whine. And it goes this way. Today upon a bus, I saw a girl with golden hair and wished I was as fair. When suddenly she rose to leave, I saw her hobble down the aisle. And then I saw that she had just one leg and she wore a crutch. But as she passed a smile. Oh God, forgive me when I whine. I have 2 legs, the world is mine. Later I stopped to buy some candy, and the lad who sold it had such charm. I stopped a bit and spoke with him. If I were late, I'll do no harm. And as I left, he said to me, I thank you, sir. You've been so kind. It's nice to talk with folks like you. You see, I'm blind.
Thank
Oh
you
God,
very much.
forgive me when I whine. I have two eyes, the world is mine. Later, as I walked down the street, I saw a child with eyes of blue. He stood and watched the others play. He did not know what to do. And I then stopped and asked him, why won't you join the others, dear? He looked ahead without a word, and then I knew he couldn't hear. Oh God, forgive me when I whine. I have 2 ears, the world is mine. With feet to take me where I'd go, with eyes to see the sunset glow, and with ears to hear what I'd know. Oh God, forgive me when I whine. I've been blessed indeed. The world is mine. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Give a big hand. So wonderful, Ranjan De Silva. We could not do justice to you. If you can make time once again, let us repeat it for 15 minutes more later on after lunch, if you can make time.
We'll do
For
that.
others, because I can see little thin attendance.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so take your seat over there. Now we are going for the next session on healthcare, better healthcare. May I humbly invite the moderator, PDG Mahfuddin Ahmed, along with the two very good speakers, Professor A.K. Azad Khan and Runa Khan of Friendship NGO. Sir, you have time till 2 minutes to 10. Because we are having a special speech of the RIPR right at 10. And at the same time, I request our respected RIPR and special guest to come to the stage. Special guest Elwa, Chehab Elwa, you can come to the stage so that our RIPR is not alone over there. Okay, sir. So you time till 2 minutes to 10.
Thank you, Mr. Governor. The dignitaries in the dais and in front of me, the respected past governors, leaders, and wonderful participants. Assalamu alaikum. This is a very important session because health is wealth. And we have brilliant speakers today. Dr. A.K. Azad Khan from the family of Rotary, and also Ms. Runa Khan. She is also from the family of Rotary. And all the brilliant participants this morning. Most welcome. Dr. Azad is such a dedicated patriot that despite many an offer, he has chosen to work in Bangladesh, and he is the president of the Diabetics Association of Bangladesh, the largest provider of service for diabetes mellitus, both type 1 and both type 2 in the whole world. Let us greet this great man, a great researcher, a great scholar, and a great contributor to the cause of the country and to the humanity of the world. Let us give him a big hand, Dr. A.K. Azad. And may I invite him very humbly, and we are so honored, sir, with your presence, and we will be benefited. Dr. A.K. Azad.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Mr. Chairman, please allow me to thank the organizers for this kind invitation, which I am very privileged and humbled to accept. Also, it gives me an opportunity to inspire the leaders of Rotary in the fight against diabetes that we are also committed to. You see, how do you operate here? Yeah, but how do I operate here? There. Please put the slide. You see, diabetes is a global epidemic, and it has been recognized as the epidemic by the World Health Organization, by International Diabetic Federation, and also by United Nations. And you will soon see that this UN resolution was proposed by Diabetic Association of Bangladesh through government of Bangladesh. Next slide. So you can see that how big is the problem, you see. I will not read whole thing out. 1 in 7 births is affected by gestational diabetes, and 12% of the world health expenditure is on diabetes, and only 50% of the diabetics in the world are aware that they are diabetic. But diabetes is underestimated in the mind of public. Next slide. You can see here that diabetes is now affecting about 5 million, but HIV/AIDS, TB, and malaria combined is less than that. But if you compare the public feeling about HIV/AIDS and diabetes, you can see the gulf of differences. So it is an underestimated problem in public mind. Next slide. And the diabetes is also more prevalent now in developing countries than in developed countries. And you can see this difference is getting larger and larger. Next slide. Next slide. So as I said, the UN resolution, and you can see the UN resolution proposes that all member states should take up prevention program. Next slide. And as I said, the UN resolution was sponsored by the government of Bangladesh is in 2006 on request of Bangladesh Diabetic Association. Next slide. How big is the problem? The problem is rising because of the lifestyle changes. You can see fast food, sedentary habit, rapid urbanization, population increase, life expectancy. But we cannot desire the life expectancy should be short. So life expectancy is going to increase, and diabetes is going to increase unless you take measures for it. Next slide. Next slide. In Bangladesh, there's about, so we don't have the exact estimate, but there are about more than 7 million are in diabetes, and number of deaths due to diabetes in 2015, that's estimated death, you can see 129, 300,000. Next slide. But
আপনি স্লাইড চেঞ্জ করছেন এটা দিয়ে কথা বলেন, স্লাইড ওরা চেঞ্জ করুন, অসুবিধা করে না তো, আপনি মাঝখানে দাঁড়ায় কাগজ হাতে নিয়ে এটা দিয়ে কথা বলেন, শুনতে পাচ্ছেন আপনি। ওকে, স্লাইড ওরা চেঞ্জ করুন। নেক্সট স্লাইড বলেন।
So you can see we have done estimates in the country, and the diabetes is increasing all over the country, in the cities, in villages, in tribal areas, everywhere. We studied in Dhaka city, Nanda is the rural population, and Khagrasari is the tribal population. But if you see carefully, in rural areas, pre-diabetes is more than diabetes. So if you combine pre-diabetes and diabetes together, then if you combine them together, they are almost equal. Next slide. And you can see that as the way, next slide, as the way the things are getting urbanized, so you can consider that we are on a time bomb, because as the people will become urbanized, they will become diabetic, you see, unless you take measures. Next slide. Now, if we want to do something, we have to know what is the root cause of the problem. You see, diabetes is a disease that is a combination of the genetics and environmental factors. So think of a tree, unless you have the seed, you don't get the tree. But only with the seed you will not get the tree. You must plant it, you see, like you put in the soil. So you don't have diabetes, type 2 diabetes, unless you have gene for it. But you will not get it unless your environmental factors fruition seed to diabetes. Next slide. Now, you can also think that if the disease is so severe, then why the gene should stay? The gene should be eliminated out. But it is possible that diabetic gene gives some survival advantage, you see. It is possible that diabetic children have got better intelligence, you see. And it is possible. I will not go in detail. Next slide. Next slide. I'm just giving one example. That in the same jungle or forest, the leopard and deer live together, you see. They live. The leopard is the fastest animal on the land. His takeoff speed is 90 miles, can go up to 150 miles. But a deer can't go more than 40 miles. So if you imagine, then the leopard should be able to kill all the deers. But really they can't do it. But the reason is endurance. But leopard can run only for about 5 minutes, and deers can run for hours, you see. So endurance is an important factor for survival, and it is possible that diabetic genes gives you endurance. So the gene is going to stay. We have to learn how to manipulate our environmental factors to prevent it. Next slide. So I thought it's important that if we think of strategies, so this concept is important. Now another point is, you see, diabetes is basically due to some problem with the insulin, you see, which is secreted from pancreas. But you may think that all hormones are essential for life. You may think, but that's not true. But insulin is essential for life. I give you an example here. Next slide. We castrate bulls to make them doesn't work. It doesn't work, you see. But anyhow, it's not working. But you see, we castrate bulls to make them suitable for plowing, you see. But then the castrated bull does not die, you see, although it cannot procreate. So this insulin, also castrated bull will not have testosterone. So testosterone is not essential for life. I'm just giving you an example that no. So here I give you the example of this. But now the risk factors today are because of this changing lifestyle, because people have become less physically active, taking fast food and getting obese and inactive. So that's the reason for this. Now, I'm just giving you the examples of shifting lifestyles. You can see food culture, because when we were young in villages, we would be provided food by our mothers, but now mothers have no time, so they give some money to the baby or the child to buy something, and they get addicted to fast food and soft drinks and this. And what happened, which is summarized here, you can see this picture. Now, if you have a guess, what is wrong in that picture, you see? No, it's not. This is not working. I better say. Yeah. So, what is the wrong in that picture? If you can guess, is the wrong in this picture is this person who is sitting on the computer is certainly not like that shape. Would be obese, you see. I'm just giving another example of Dhaka city. You can see Dhaka city in 1904, that's Motichil actually. On your left is Motichil, and on the right is Motichil now, which has become complete jungle. So against this background, Diabetic Association of Bangladesh started in 2006, and we have a lot of prevention program and also a lot of program for diabetes. I'll cut short through it, you see. The guiding principle of the association is to give comprehensive care for diabetes, and according to the UN resolution, every country should have a national policy for prevention, and we have submitted a national policy to the government, and which is under consideration, and I'm appealing to you that you join to implement this national policy, you see. The Organization of Diabetes, we are spread, we are unlike any other diabetics in the world. We are spread all over the country, and we have got many, many programs. I'll highlight main is the you see, it doesn't coordinate. This doesn't coordinate. But anyhow, so BADAS has a big network, and we are trying to do this. The institute that is well known. Please listen to my talk, not to these pictures, because they are not coordinating. See, this is not coordinating, and BARDEM is well known to you all. That's the central location, and this. And then we have another program with our healthcare development program. I think I shall finish my speech quickly and allow the audience to ask questions. That I think will be better, you see. And University of Health Sciences, I'll come to this. And we have an important program for manpower creation. The manpower creation program, through that distance learning program, and we have now trained 13,000 GPs. If we want to provide health care to our population, GPs have to be trained, you see. And we have now trained more than 13,000, and the program is going on. And in fact, recently, which I would like you to see, recently we have signed an MOU with a Calcutta-based organization that they want us to train the doctors in the northeastern part of India through this program. And in the signing ceremony, the Indian ambassador is here at the signing ceremony. Harshavardhan Singla and our foreign minister was there. And we have run an micro-health insurance program in garment workers. And in 1 year, it was possible to give comprehensive health care for as little as 487 Bangladeshi taka, which is about $6 only, you see, comprehensive health cover. So this is possible. And our next program is to create a distance learning care and care project. So I'll come to that, you see. So distance learning care, it will be education and training, and these 12,000, 13,000 doctors are connected to an app. And then through call center, people can have healthcare 24 hours a day, and they can consult a doctor near their home, trained by us, at a very nominal price. So I think that will be a good model of healthcare. So that's this. In the strategies for primary prevention, we have also got a diabetic ambassador. You see, you can see the cricketer here who has become our ambassador. But here, I would like to emphasize one point. If we want to prevent diabetes, we must be able to invent the right language, which will motivate public. I will just give you one example, a wrong example I'll give you, and that is the tobacco companies. We all know tobacco is harmful. In fact, I strongly believe, and I'm trying you to persuade that you believe that tobacco cultivation should be banned. But anyhow, the unethical business continues it, you see. But you think the way they can motivate people, you see. They have advertised cigarette as a sign of good health, as a sign of romance, which is absolutely not in reality. So we must find out the right language by which people can be motivated, you see. We have two programs which you would be interested for prevention. One program is through the marriage registers. And in this program, what we do, the marriage registers give an advice to the couple that after marriage, when they contemplate taking pregnancy, the mother should be checked to make them fit for pregnancy. And that will prevent diabetes and also GDM. The other program is that in the mosques, we will be opening a health corner and give message through the imam in their khutbah, which they have agreed. So this program is going on. If I can come to the khutbah part, see, you can see. I'm cutting short through because the program is not. So this is the program for the Qazis, which has been supported by the ministry and by the relevant departments of the government. You can see the message from the health minister, from the president, and from the prime minister for this program. The khutbah is, you see, we have quoted from the religious text, and there is a strong message by which you can prevent this. I will cut short and come to the last part. You see, together with Rotary, we can achieve changes. Through Rotary, we have done a lot of things together. In fact, with one Rotary Club, we are now going to take a program for creating awareness in a defined community and see if that can be replicated throughout the country. So here. So anyhow, I'll finish by saying, with proper planning and dedicated leadership, it will be possible to create healthcare for diabetes and other NCDs, even in poor countries, number one. And diabetes care is a model for NCD care, and primary prevention needs innovative planning, and religious leaders can play a part. I'm sorry that the slide did not match, so I couldn't present the way I wanted to present. But I would like to, if Mr. Chairman allows, I would like to compensate that by question and answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Azad. He believes in action, not in the rhetorics. And I must thank the wonderful, brilliant presence here, so nicely accepted and taken his works on the elimination of diabetic mellitus or checking it up and preventing diabetes mellitus. Let us give a bigger hand to Dr. A.K. Azad. Our next speaker is Friendship and co-chair Friendship International. She is a promoter and spokesman of preserving planet Earth and maintaining the climate. She is a dignity promoter, and she believes that poor cannot afford poor solution. She also country chair for Global Dignity and international board member of Global Dignity. May I now humbly request Ms. Runa Khan. She works with the terminal people of Bangladesh mobile in the riverine system also, and the first boat came through the courtesy of Rotary. Thank you, Mr. Unaka.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Runa Khan, and I started an organization called Friendship in 2002. For me, each life mattered, and each pain a person felt, I wanted to find some way of easing that. I was not a doctor. I had not even seen the inside of a hospital when I took on this challenge of trying to serve the rural communities of 160 million people in Bangladesh, where 70% of the people live with only 25% of healthcare services available to them. In 2002, I started with the first mobile floating hospital, and I realized that just service and with healthcare was not enough. It was not enough to bring to the people the cures which I wanted to have reach them. And I realized that we needed to work more globally. We needed to work by bringing not only healthcare, but all the elements which prevent a person from having good care and good health. I started floating hospitals and a healthcare system, which is today serving more than 250,000 people every month. Over the years, I realized that with health, there were other responsibilities of global healthcare. And global healthcare was ensuring that they had proper nourishment, ensuring that they understood how to address when you felt sick, understood where to go when you needed healthcare services. And for this, I started an integrated development model, which is today reaching more than 500,000 people only in the most difficult climate-impacted, climate-challenged areas of the country. I'll show you a little PowerPoint in which you will understand how just bringing healthcare was not enough. You needed to bring healthcare through elements which affected a person's life. And most important, you needed it to be sustainable. And for sustainability, awareness was not enough. You needed to perform those little miracles with so many of our doctors, like Professor Azad Khan, and all the doctors here are bringing daily to their lives. So friendship was just an instrument. I was just an instrument in bringing together a healthcare model, a global healthcare model, which not only served in health, but also gave other elements for people to access better healthcare in their lives. A short PowerPoint presentation of 5 minutes, and I think you will understand that friendship today, working with the most poorest of the poor in the most remote communities, is bringing healthcare of quality. Because if you do not perform those little miracles, if you do not show that you can be cured, health can never be sustainable. And if it is not sustainable, it cannot work. Please, the PowerPoint. Intro. Yes, that's the one. Thank you. of 160 million people, 70% of the people are living in rural areas, as I mentioned. And these people have as much right to healthcare access as we do. Through the 3 hospital services, we are serving this number. We have a 3-tier healthcare system. Hospitals, satellite clinics, community Medicaids served with a mobile healthcare system. Where simple communities, women are trained to bring healthcare of international quality. To access international quality healthcare. Sorry. এটা হয় নাই পুরোটা শেষ হয় নাই আপনারা অর্ধেক উঠিয়েছেন না না It's okay. I'm sorry that you could not see the end of the film because they had, I think, picked up only half. But I would like to say that when I started Friendship in 2002, I was told that it was impossible to bring service to so many people in this country. It did not matter to me because they said I would be a drop in the ocean in this 160 million people. But today, we are having children in these villages walking through reconstructive surgery, blindness, which are cured. And because of that, today I would like to tell people that it does not matter if you're a drop in the ocean. It's just what matters is how important a drop you are. And I urge that all of you, thank you. I urge that all of you, every one of us is responsible for doing that little part, which we hope that will bring healthcare. Because if you are suffering, no other development intervention is possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Runa Khan. Thank you very much. We have to end up, I know, at least many of us have some questions to ask for, but somehow the time is getting over. I think we have only a few seconds more to end the session. I'm sure that all of us here present are the agent of resurgence and growth, hope and dignity, and we shall definitely take care of ensuring better health care for us, for all of us, and for everyone. With that hope, may I request the Governor to come up and thereby let him do his job. Thank you very much. We are on time.
Give a big hand for the moderator and the speakers being on time. Now I humbly request our RIPR to hand over a memento to the speaker first, Runa Khan, vibrant speaker Runa Khan, and then Chiha Belua to Professor A.K. Azad, our asset, A.K. Azad. He himself is an institution, and yes. Is Shakuntala here among us? Are you here, Shakuntala? We are very much fond of you so that we can, sir, can we take her session first? What do you think? Are you ready? So we are cancelling a session for the convenience of the participants. Now, doing good in the world is the session. I can see our moderator, very respected, and first AKS PDG Ali Mahbub is present, and also PDG Cheha Velwar already among us. He had been in stage. So we will start now for 30 minutes a session on doing good in the world, to be moderated by PDG Ali Mahbub. May I humbly request him to come to stage, and the speaker PDG Cheha Velwar. Sir, PDG Cheha, you are the speaker now. Please come on the stage. And this time, yes, okay. We have two speakers and moderator. May I also invite two of our very lovely brothers, candidates, Abu Saeed and Rubaiyat, to the stage. We would like to watch them and see them. Let them sit on the stage in this session also.
Good morning. Thank you, Governor. Fellow Rotarians, we are here this morning to discuss, to talk about doing good around the world. We are all Rotarians. We are gathered together. We join this great organization with the motive that we will do good in our life. When I was young, a student of class 5, one of my teachers told me and gave me a sort of a sermon that try to, in your life, try to do one good every day. If we can follow that, then the world will be a much better place to live. I do not go into long discussion. I will leave it to our panel members. First will be Rotarian Shakuntala Raha, Team Leader, Fund Development and Donor Services, Rotary International Southeast Asia Office. Shakuntala Raha, please.
Hello, good morning. Good morning, all of you. And warm Rotary greetings from Rotary International South Asia office. So am I visible now? Okay, thank you. Firstly, let me thank District Governor Arif for his kind invitation and my first visit to Bangladesh. And I'm so happy and excited because my grandparents, great-grandparents belong to this country and it's my first visit here. I'm so thrilled to be with all of you. I'm enjoying the hospitality since yesterday. Myra Appa, thank you for your time, the great moment, and great to share the platform with PDG Ganesh. I'm meeting him after a long time, though we stay in India in the same place. So it's great to be here now because District 3281 is doing absolutely great in foundation. You have established yourself in the Rotary world map. And it's a great moment in the foundation for District 3281. I'm so happy that I am here at this point of time. So you are part of a Rotary International, which has 7 international offices across the world. It works with the staff in the international offices and serves 220 countries and geographical territories, handles 29 currencies, and has more than 1.2 million Rotarians across the world. So this being the district conference, let's see, it's a moment for celebration for all of you. So let's have the reasons for celebration now. Bangladesh has come in the top league of the Rotary, is amongst the top 30 giving countries in the Rotary world. Congratulations, it's all because of your hard work, because of the past district governors, the brilliant work they have done, and the wonderful dedicated Rotarians. So you are, even in the current year, you are amongst the top 30 giving countries in the world. And then the top 50 districts. 3281 comes amongst the top 50 districts in the Rotary world, which is a great achievement for all of you. Because of your generosity, you are there in the world map. The increase in contribution has been very significant, over 200% over the last 5 years. And this year, I noted is more than 500,000 in our record, and I understand it's almost 700,000 already collected from the district. So are we sitting with $1 million district governor now? I think it's $1 million district governor, and maybe 3281 will end up as $1 million district this year. Yes, of course, I have signed on by here. So, and you have the Arch Club members, already 4, and I think more is coming during the year. So you are the second highest in Zone 6B in terms of the AKS members. And amongst the top 50 districts in the South Asia, which club is it? Anybody from Dhaka Central? Okay, so Dhaka Central comes amongst the top 50 clubs in the South Asia region. Congratulations. So great achievements for the district, and it's a great moment to be here with all of you today. So continue giving to foundation, continue motivating your friends, your business leaders to give to foundation. And I know you are encouraging Rotarians all over the country and beyond through your contacts, networking, to give through various programs of the foundation. So today let me talk more on the endowment funds, term gifts. These are the major gifts of the value of $25,000 and above. These tools are very instrumental to increase the contribution, to strengthen foundation, and to do more projects in your country and your neighborhood. So more the projects you do, more the scope for impressing people, of attracting other people towards Rotary, and that is how your membership and foundation contribution can go up. So you may please encourage donors for the endowment fund term gifts, which has been very instrumental, at least in India, to increase the contribution. So you can take the same route for increasing contribution in your country through the Rotarians in your region. endowment fund, the trustees are working towards a vision of building a corpus of more than 2 billion by the year 2025. So how do we do that? We are encouraging donors to give more than $25,000 and establish an endowment fund. So how does the donor, or why should a donor establish an endowment fund? First thing which impresses a donor is it gives him an opportunity to build a legacy. It can be named in the name of his parents, his grandchildren, his family trust. So you are basically building up a legacy in the name of the fund. And this appeals to the donor very much, very emotional appeal. If he can name an endowment fund in the name of his parents, the name lives on, and it helps the donor and the club to support a project in the community. So every year you are able to support a project activity in the neighborhood, and the name of the family continues forever. The grandchildren also comes to know that the family has a project, has a philanthropic vision which continues. So it's very appealing and a very convincing way of giving to foundation. When the endowment fund is given, it starts with $25,000. It adds up to the corpus of the foundation. So firstly, it strengthens the foundation for the future and allows the club to do a project. So the money which you give in the foundation as endowment fund will be invested in perpetuity. So every year it goes into investment, and an earnings generated each year will come to the district as part of DDF. So when the DDF is available to the district, the club can submit a spending plan and use that portion of the DDF for the projects. So how does it help the district governor if an endowment is established? So anybody from your family, friends can add up to the endowment each year, and it goes to the district's total contribution. So once you have established an endowment with $25,000, you can encourage your friends, your family members, your business partners to add any amount to the endowment fund. So the gift value of the endowment fund goes up, the earnings each year is going up, you are able to do a bigger project each year, and the district's total contribution goes up, and the foundation is strengthened as the corpus money goes up. So this is a very important tool. Not only it builds legacy, it helps district to increase their contribution and do more projects subsequently in the years. These are the naming opportunities. So as and when the gift value is increasing, you have more opportunities, more benefits for the donor. So I just emphasize on one level, this is $250,000. So if there is an endowment with $250,000, the donor can specify in which area of focus the earnings will be used each year and which will be the geographical location. So he has a project of his own preference, and once the endowment is established with $250,000, every year the earnings come up and the project becomes sustainable. So he doesn't have to worry each year how to continue with the project. So every year there is an earning available to sustain the project. So it's a wonderful way of having a sustainable project through an endowment fund. And you can keep adding any amount to the existing endowment and increase the gift value and also add on to the district's total contribution. Next is the term gift. This is a wonderful opportunity. Like in India, it has impressed so many donors and mostly the corporate, because here the donor gets an opportunity to identify the project he wants to do, and the Rotary Club comes forward to implement the project and also helps the donor to multiply the gift value. So eventually the donor will end up doing a larger project because Rotary is there. So term gift is a great opportunity. It can even single-handedly bring in $1 million if you can promote it adequately. A term gift would start with $30,000. So the advantages are, with this $30,000, the donor can specify a project in a specific geographical location in his neighborhood also, and also specify the area of focus. So he might be interested in a school in his neighborhood. He might be interested in a hospital or training of nurses. So any of these projects, you can take it up as a term gift. So this has been very attractive to the corporate donors who have the adequate fund but may not have the instruments or may not have the right organizations to implement the project. So Rotary clubs can reach out to the business partners around them and promote the term gift. So with $30,000, the project minimum value is there. It will need a foreign partner, but foreign partner need not contribute as it is in other global grants. And you can offer a larger project to the donor. So if the district governor is agreeing to give another $20,000 to the term gift, so foundation is matching with another $20,000. So eventually for the $30,000 donor is giving, you are able to offer him a project of $70,000, which is a very win-win situation. And I think any donor would like to have this opportunity. If a club finds the project attractive, any Rotarian from the club or also a non-Rotarian can contribute say $10,000 or $5,000 to the project. Foundation will come forward with 50% matching. So you are further leveraging the project value. So this is a great opportunity, and there is no investment like annual fund. It doesn't go into investment for 2 years or 3 years. You can right away use the term gift for the project in the same year or in next 2 to 3 years. So this is a wonderful opportunity. Whatever contributions you are doing through annual fund, polio fund is wonderful, and it has taken your district to high level. And I think I could see you have already started with endowment fund and term gift. And so I thought this is a great opportunity to promote more of these major gifts, which will be very attractive to the donor, and you can take it up with your business partners or have a corporate meet, which many of the districts are doing. Please organize a corporate meet in your district and invite the corporate heads, talk about foundation, talk about the ways of giving. I'm sure they will be impressed with whatever you have done here in your districts through the projects. So the term gift will help you to leverage the fund donor is giving and offer him a bigger project being done very efficiently through the Rotary clubs. And you won't need a foreign partner to contribute 30%. So these are the benefits. So any club or district can go ahead with the term global grant project. So basically it will be a global grant. There will be a foreign partner, but the foreign partner need not contribute anything to the project. So this is a funding scenario just to explain how the term gift can be leveraged. So this is what I explained, $30,000 without any matching ends up in a term global grant of $30,000. If there is DDF of 7,500, you can end up doing a $45,000 project. And if there is a cash contribution, you have a 50% matching, and again you end up doing $45,000 project. And if you have both DDF and cash contribution, both gets matched, and you have the opportunity to increase the value of the project, which is a very win-win situation. And please try this tool, and you have already started, which is very good. So identify the project, make the term gift contribution to the foundation, and go ahead, make the leverages. Once you do 2 or 3 successful projects, I think many more corporate and business partners will come forward to support you and will be enhancing the district's total contribution. And surely you will end up being $1 million district very soon. So how does the money flow? Because many times there are queries which we receive. Is the term gift generating DDF? Does it go for investment? Do we get back the entire money? So I just wanted to clarify. Term gift will be available to the district in its entire amount. There is no 5% deduction as in cash contribution to global grant. So the entire money comes back to the district for doing the global grant project. And if there is annual fund, 50% comes, and which can be used in district grant, also global grant. And if it is endowment fund, your money doesn't come back, but every year till perpetuity, till the time foundation is there, the earnings will come back to the district as part of DDF. And you can use it for district grant or global grant. You need not use the earnings as global grant. You can do any activity around the club, submit a spending plan to DRFC or district governor, and once it is approved, just go ahead with a district grant project around your club. So the endowment basically helps you sustain a project around the club. So that's a great reason why an endowment can be established. There's another opportunity of pool fund. So if a club has 25 members who can give $1,000, together you can make a collective contribution of $25,000 and name the endowment in the name of the club. You may also name an endowment in the name of a senior Rotarian, maybe a past district governor who is here or who is no more with you and who has done great projects, has contributed a lot to foundation. You can establish an endowment fund in his name, and any Rotarian can contribute any amount to the kitty. Once it is $25,000, the endowment is established and you can use the earnings forever in any of the region in your country. So just to give you an example, in India we have an endowment fund named after the past President Kalyan Banerjee. Currently we have an endowment fund named after past Director Manoj Desai. So similarly, on any senior leader, any past district governor, if you establish an endowment fund, I think many Rotarians will come forward to contribute to the endowment. So basically it enhances the district's total contribution. It allows you to do projects subsequently each year through forever and ever. And it is a tribute to a very senior Rotarian. So some of the opportunities you can explore for establishing an endowment fund. This is just in case you are not able to reach out to a donor who can give $25,000 outright. So these are the other opportunities by which you can establish an endowment fund. So recognitions are very much appreciated by donors. Please appreciate and recognize the generous donors in your region. These are the major donors, which starts from the $10,000 value. And in case I see a lot of issues with the recognition materials, so there has recently been held up at the customs and many of the recognitions are delayed. So I would request Rotarians from this region to help us getting the customs released. So the materials get held up very often. And you reach out to the South Asia office if the recognition materials do not reach out in time. So please recognize the donors for their generosity. And we have the highest recognition of Arch Club members. So you have many more Arch Club members coming. So it's very important that you see how the Arch Club members get recognized. So that's a wonderful induction program that takes place at the headquarters. So the donor along with spouse and family friends can attend at Evanston. So all the RI board members, the trustees, they come to recognize the donors, and a beautiful program is organized. You are hosted for a dinner with the senior leaders, and it's a great program organized at Evanston. So Arch Club members are invited to attend the program. Their biographies, photograph, it's available at the interactive kiosk, at the convention, at the assembly, at headquarters. Anybody from your district visiting there would be able to see your generosity, how you supported the foundation. So these are the ways I just wanted to highlight the major gifts, and I would request the district team to come up with queries, any issues. If you want me to meet the donors here in the next 1 or 2 days, I will be happy to. And I invite you to put more queries to me after this session. And so it was wonderful. I think you found the information helpful, and your generosity, your passion for foundation is commendable. So stay with foundation, love your foundation, and enjoy your foundation. Thank you.
Thank you, Shakuntala. Fellow Rotarians, you have heard how you can make contribution and where your contribution goes and how best it is used. It's a wealth of information If you want further information on how you will contribute, where you will contribute, when you will contribute, and the way you want to use your contribution, I'm sure if you write to her, she will give you more information. Our next speaker is Shiv Erar. He is a trustee on the fourth circle. That means he has contributed about $1 million to Rotary Foundation. He comes from United States and is our guest. He is a very successful real estate agent, and as I talked to him and find he's a wonderful person. He is traveling with his spouse, who is also a delightful person, and Shiv has to share with us his ideas and thoughts. Shiv. You don't need this.
No, I don't. Thank you. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. All protocols will be observed. We're going to skip all the acknowledgement. My wife, Dr. Bricia, and I, who is also our president for our club, are honored and privileged to be among great Rotarians like yourself. And our IPR, Ganesh, Ramesh, thank you for being here. It's not an incident that we meet together, because in the journey of Rotary, good people will always meet. Rotary is a journey and not a destination. Before I start my 3-hour speech, I would like to acknowledge all the Air Rovers, that they are going everywhere. You see them everywhere. Well, thank you for all your service. Thank you all for the opportunity to allow us to share with you our passion for the most honorable organization on earth. You go ahead. For the sake of time, you just look at the board for all the things that we have done. You heard how we can give. You're going to see from the slides how we spend the money. We are Rotarians, we're in the service business and not the banking business. So we like to spend every penny on humanity. The Rotary International, our foundation that ranks the top best foundation in the world, according to the measure in the world. I would like to congratulate you for the Rotarians in the world for an exceeding foundation goal for this historic centennial year. The goal was to reach $300 million by the end of this year. We have reached $304.4 million. Congratulations and thank you all. You contributed to all that success. We come a long way in our foundation when we started with $26.50 to exceed over $1.5 million in giving. As trustee, Chair Kailan Banerjee said, now is the time to enable our foundation to serve humanity for centuries to come by making sure it is financially strong and remains recognized internationally for its good work. Since the Rotary Foundation took over the task of eradicating polio in 1985, we had immunized over 2.2 billion children around the world, and we have only 22 new cases in the world. We are this close. And thank you again. Bill and Melinda Foundation, they believe in our efforts and the efforts of the Rotarians. That's why they match us up to double $55 million every year for the next 4 years, besides last year. I was checking on the World Impact Tracker and I don't know how many of you does that. And that is on the showcase for RI. I was not amazed to see that so far this year, total volunteer hours from the Rotarians, 52,194,347 hours. Total number of volunteers, 8,551,013 volunteers. Total cash contribution, 594,805,076. Total in-kind contribution, $278,918,544. Very impressive. I hope you all are tracking your success and your programs on Club Central. As we progress in the serving humanity, Rotary International has a new vision for international service shares in the world. Rotary International is encouraging every district to form a district resource network in order to enhance projects and collaboration among the expertise of your district and in the world, which will help retention, increase membership, and also increase giving in your district. Our foundation's 6 areas of focus has helped to build grants and projects that are sustainable and relevant in different parts of the world. I will not be standing here if it wasn't for the Rotary that brings all kind passionate Rotarians to collaborate with their efforts and service to change the lives of others worthy of our kindness. But let us pause for a moment. Are we really changing people's lives? Or are we changing our own life? I can tell you from my experience as a child who was raised in Lebanon. Going to school, I had 1 pair of shoes, 1 pair of pants, and the whole family of 8, we have 1 toothbrush. The Civil War came around, and this child has to bear arms and protect my village. So my parents believe in education, like all of you believe in education and the programs that you do. They said, you need to leave the country because you're going to get killed. And you're the elder son, we depend on you. So they borrowed the money and sent me to the United States, and I got my master's degree in civil engineering. And in the business that I conducted, I was in the automobile business. And this gentleman who was my mentor afterwards, he came and gave me his card, and I look at his card. Being in the automobile business, I look at the card and I see the wheel. And I said, I'm going to make money on these people. I thought that is automobile business, not a Rotary business. I did not know nothing about the Rotary service. But the minute I knew and I started learning about what Rotarians do in the world, it just brought it home because I was raised in that conditions. My mother was the kind person, just like all the Rotarians are. My mother always reminded me about humility. She always said, humility is like loaded branches of fruit on a tree. The lower they get, the more people can reach them and nourish themselves. And that's who you really are. She also said, the lowest spot on the plane gets the most rain. And when you are humble, you will get more than what you give. Because of your humility, your kindness, and your dedication, your district has thrived this year. And because your acknowledgement and encouragement for your members, your district will thrive next year and the years after. You are peace builders, and you have laid down the best foundation for this great district for many years to come. I want to express my gratitude for the friendship that we enjoy with your district. On behalf of our Governor Manzoor and our Rotarians, I want to salute you for serving humanity with passion. You could not pick any better month to have your celebration of your achievement at this conference. And I'll quote, the month of February is a very special in the Rotary calendar since it is designated World Understanding Month. The month also includes the anniversary of the first meeting of Rotary held on February 23rd, 1905, now designated as World Understanding and Peace Day. World Understanding Month is a chance for every club to pause, plan, and promote the Fourth Avenue of service. Rotary has continued quest for goodwill, peace, and understanding among people of the world. As we reflect on this special month as the birth of our most honorable organization, we should be asking ourselves what our clubs are doing to promote understanding and peace in our communities and the world. We just celebrated 30 years of women in Rotary. I can tell you, women who deliver our generations are worthy of leading them to serve humanity. Sister Safina Rahman is a perfect example about the dedication of women in Rotary. She made history in this district as Dr. Sylvia Whitlock did in our Rotary world, to become the first woman Rotarian in Rotary and a governor later on. Thank you, my patch mate, Safina. And thank you for your passion to extend kindness to adopt a school with over 6,000 children. I'm proud to see your district is embracing the leadership of women. Two nights ago, we were accompanied to dinner by two of your current women presidents, Farhana and Nasima. Who shared with us the success story for their compassion to serve children and empowering young women through education. We will never have a shortage in our business as peacemakers and service ambassadors in the world. As conflict, poverty, and wars wage on in many parts of the Middle East, Africa, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and a lot of other parts in the world, the need of our kindness and service is always in high demand. I realize your dedication to your communities. You have over 67 district grants and many different projects. I realize your passion to our youth with 84 Interact clubs, 228 Rotaract clubs, 186 Rotary Community Corps clubs beside the RILA programs. You have realized that our youth is our best guarantee that our service to humanity will never ever be interrupted. I realize your commitment to polio eradication and your constant immunization, although your country has been polio-free since 2000. I realize your presidents and leaders are so involved around the world advancing the message of Rotary and the importance of peace. Nural Kabir is a living example of that. Thank you for your dedication to establish peace and understanding. Please give him a round of applause. Yes, peace and understanding is a long commitment for us Rotarians, and by us committing one act of kindness, no matter what size it will assure peace is possible through others and through service. You can become an Arch Clump Society by giving $250,000 or more. You have 4 Arch Clump Societies dedicated last year. And for the sake of time, I'm going to save their names and I'm going to give them a pin afterwards for 100 years of foundation. Thank you very much. Please stand and be acknowledged. Where are you, Arch Clump Societies? I've seen it yesterday. Please stand and acknowledged. All right. Your giving over the years is over $10 million, and this year is so far is over $700,000. What really impressed me is that you have 296 Paul Harris Fellows and over 108 major donors. I challenge you to become 100% Paul Harris District. simply by helping one another to match their donation with points that you already have, and sponsor one or more Rotarian in your district to become a Paul Harris Fellow. You have more than 158 benefactors. You Rotarians are example of selfless giving. You are giving a scholarship to someone you will never ever shake their hand. You're digging a well somewhere that you will never ever taste this water. You're immunizing a child that you will never ever put your eyes in his eyes. Are you still wondering what drives our foundation and how it all works? Well, you are a perfect example of Rotarians serving humanity through our foundation. Arch Klump said, "It seems eminently proper that we should accept endowment for the purpose of doing good in the world." My wife, Dr. Bricia, and I are realizing how honored and privileged to be a part of a beautiful, caring district. Our Rotary commitment toward understanding is still in the making, and you will help achieving it through your kindness and generosity. There is no end for our service. There is only a new beginning, which has started this year with Governor Arif and will be followed by your governor-elect and governor nominee. But that success was written a long time ago by your past district governors. All past district governors, I will acknowledge all of you, and I'm going to save not to stand at this time. We all stand on the shoulders of our mentors who led us before. Every year, you have the biggest shoulders you will provide to your future leaders, and we are proud to be serving along your side. The leadership of all your presidents, the leadership of each one of you make a difference. My grandfather always says, when you build a great castle, every little nail counts. All presidents, we all acknowledge you. There are 3 questions you might ask yourself. First, who we really are. I see that you all have answered this question with your passion to serve and to give of your time and money to make this year a success in serving others. My second question, why do we do it? I'm going to tell you a little story about one of our Rotarians, generous Rotarians, and his money and his time, and his wife. They will give every year between $150,000 to $200,000. I asked him one time, why do you give so much? He said, I am selfish. I said, how are you selfish? You're giving a lot. He said, I'm selfish because when I give, it makes me feel good. It makes Al feel good. And not only that, they will also step out and go on a lot of projects. One time, they were giving wheelchairs to children affected by polio. And in the process of taking these children off sticks and little wheels, one child crawled up to his wife, and she was trying to take him off that little stick and put him in the wheelchair. And he kept holding on her hand and talking to her in his language. She didn't understand what he's saying. So she called the translator. She said, what is this child telling? The translator said, this child is telling you to hold on a few more moments so he can remember your face, so he can thank you again when he sees you in heaven. That's why we do it. That's why the Rotarians do it. My last question to you is who you really going to be. I tell you what, you might want to be a leader team. You must in your great district, or you just be support to your club, or a mentor for our youth, or just strengthen your club, or just be helping hand. But whoever you decide you want it to be, you still are the most generous, kind, loving, caring, and giving people on earth. Your families in each club will grow because of your kindness and your willingness to reach others and invite them to join the most honorable organization. Together we will grow, together we will give service, and together we will change the lives in our communities and the world through Rotary Foundation. One great leader once says, there is a great power in each one of you, and if it will ever do, and if our work, it will change the face of the history. You are writing a new chapter in the history of your district. I would like to extend our President Ian Rice the invitation for the Rotarians to join together other fellow Rotarians and families in Toronto, where everyone will inspire by all the Rotarians' achievement and share ideas with Rotarians from all over the world. I cannot emphasize more on your kindness, acknowledgement, and thanks to each other. I see on all your names how much you have donated. I see your position, past president. That's acknowledgement. That's giving kindness to one another. And that's why you're thriving in your district. As past RI President Tanaka says, through better understanding, we learn to respect. With mutual respect, we live with each other with peace. As Rotarian, we think that service, we're trying to improve individual lives and strengthening the institution of civil society is a powerful weapon in search of peace. Peace is not an end state, but a progress like health. It is a constant balance between the forces of development in economic, social, and political terms and the destabilization source of conflict. And yes, Rotary is a foundation truly brings grace, mercy to those we serve through our humanitarian efforts. My personal wish is that every Rotarian will personally experience the miracle of service to others that indeed make a difference. The founder of Rotary Foundation, our sixth Rotary International President Arch Klump said, and again I quote, "No one can tell us what Rotary will be tomorrow, but one thing is certain, what Rotary will be tomorrow depends upon what we Rotarians do today." We might not see you for a long time, but I can assure you that you will be always on our hearts and our minds. We are thankful to all of you for being our family in Rotary and friends in service. We're thankful for Governor Arif and First Lady that gave us the opportunity and the honor to be with you for a fabulous conference. Our special thanks to our ASM, Bedrosa, and Farhana that make us feel like family all this time. Remember, our President Ian Risley had asked us to make a difference. And you are not stranger for the next year theme, where our President-elect, Beru Rasan, asked us to be the inspiration. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow peacekeepers, you all have no limits of producing love and kindness. Each one of you is like a peace candle that would light up 1,000 candles. Are you going to be that candle? Are you going to be that inspiration? Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Shihab. Fellow Rotarians, you may know that Shihab has contributed about $1 million to Rotary Foundation. The position of our district in Zone 6B is very good. And if we could have one more AKS, we will be standing really with our heads erect. Is there anybody in this hall now that would like to become an AKS? Rafiq, I know Rafiq has a wish, but is it time for you to announce? The governor had asked PDG General Abedin to talk about 2 minutes on Rotary Foundation in Bangladesh. General Abedin.
Fellow Rotarians and guests, I am not speaking here as the representative of the Rotary Foundation. My information will be on the basis of the fiscal agent of Bangladesh from that perspective. One is, as Shakuntala mentioned, that our contribution as it shows in the website is 550,000 US dollar. Yes, that is reflected in the Rotary Foundation website. But from fiscal agent office, money deposited in the account of the Rotary Foundation is more than 700,000. And we have reported it to the South Asia office as well as in the Rotary Foundation, accounts receivable. But normally it takes about a week to be reflected in that. So I assure you that is the case. Shakuntala is a marvelous woman. For the last more than a year, I have direct contact with her. And she is the lady who motivated us, who shows us the way, how to attract the Rotary Foundation money. And amazing the way of doing things through particularly the term gift. It's a trick, I will say. It's a magic, I will say. Though the people all over the Rotary world, they say it's the Indian way of doing things. But to me, it came through the Shakuntala, you. Shakuntala, thank you very much. And I can assure you, and through you, I want to inform the Rotary Foundation and the Rotary leaders that this year, the contribution from our district will be more than $1 million because the 4 AKS members, those who have met the pledge, they are to pay the subsequent installment within June this year. So that will be in this year's contribution to the Rotary Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, this year our dynamic leader, Arif, you will not believe what a good motivator he is. What a wonderful pusher he is. I may not be the correct word, but he really knows how to convince people. And he is supported by a group of wonderful, dedicated leaders like DRFC Hafizullah, like his team, the District Secretary Shahid, and one of the most dedicated Rotarian who is constantly day and night working for this Rotary Foundation's contribution is Dr. Romel. Will you please rise, Dr. Romel? Almost every day he comes to my room. Every day he is making the contact with the South Asia office, and he's making it possible that till today we have 4 acres and number are more in the pipeline. Shakuntala and Shiva, Shahab, you have inspired our people, inspired the man who was the first man in this district to contribute 100,000 US dollar. And that man is Rafiq Ahmed Siddiq, the past district governor. Will you please rise? Will you please rise? Rafiq, please rise, please. And he is, till today, is the highest contributor to the Rotary Foundation of $100,000, and he made the commitment right now that he will become an AKS by contributing the fast term gift of $30,000. Of course, he can make the payment in subsequent years, but with the initial payment of $30,000 for a term gift, you will become a AKS this year. That you made the commitment. Thank you, Rafiq. We are proud of you. Ladies and gentlemen, so far we learn about what we are to contribute, but do we know how much benefit we received from the Rotary Foundation, particularly in our district? So far I have the statistics from 1990 till today. In this district, we have received more than $10 million in different grants. Do you know how much till today we have contributed? It is hardly 450,000 US dollar. Sorry, $4.5 million. So we got double the amount we have contributed. So let us continue it so that we get the benefit ourselves and do good to the world. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, PDG General Abidin. Thank you, Shakuntala. Thank you, Shehab, for your deliberation, sharing your thoughts with us. Now, this is a very important subject. We could possibly discuss more interesting things, but time is not with us. So I'm ending this session here, passing the responsibility to the Governor.
Thank you very much. My governor is going to be AKS. This is the happiest moment for me. May I humbly request all to give a standing ovation to my governor who is going to be AKS in this conference? Yes. And someone wants to donate right now $25,000. AKS Roshan Ara Appa. Can you come to stage? You want to hand over right now? Yes, please come on. May I humbly call my governor Rafiq Ahmed Siddiq on the stage? New AKS Rafiq Ahmed Siddiq on the stage. Please come, you are very young. Young in mind. Yes. Yes. And taking inspiration from him, all the other AKSs want to come to stage to respect him. Farhana, Badruddoza. Yes, please come on the stage. DRFCC should join us. Yes. We'll be having photograph. Meanwhile, I request RIPR and special guest to hand over a memento, and I allow District Secretary for his very important announcement. Please sit down. Very important announcement, and after this session, please get back again at 11:20 here for the inspirational speech of the RIPR. So announcement regarding election by District Secretary.
Thank you, Governor. While this important session is going on, I would like to announce something about the election. এই সেশনের পরে যে টি ব্রেকটা হবে, জাস্ট টি ব্রেকের পরে আমরা ভোটিং ডেলিগেটস কার্ড ডিস্ট্রিবিউট করব এই হলের বাইরে ডান দিকে, এবং যারা ভোটিং ডেলিগেট কার্ড পাবেন তাদেরকে রিকোয়েস্ট করছি আজকে লাঞ্চের পরে 2:30টার মধ্যে উইন্ডি টাউনের সামনে নিচের তলায় আপনারা গ্যাদার করবেন, ওইখান থেকে আপনাদেরকে ডাকা হবে উপরে। থ্যাংক ইউ।
So, ladies and gentlemen, now tea time for us. Please assemble here at 11:20 because we have very important session of RIPR. And handing over memento.